Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going and installing the Procharger. So, I'm fairly certain I've mentioned that this is an F1R Procharger, belt driven, and for the most part it's pretty much all cleaned up. Yeah, I'm just pretty much looking forward to installing this bad boy. It is a reverse driven. The impeller itself will be facing the opposite way towards the back of the car. And of course I have the turbo guard, aka blower guard. It's from turboguard.com. And for those of you who do actually run these things or actually have them on your turbo or your Procharge or anything like that, as you guys all know, it's mainly to keep the debris out and whatnot. To me, it's just really cheap insurance. That way nothing bad gets inside these things, regardless if it's a Procharger or if it's a turbo. You know, you have a lot of investment right here. You don't want anything dumb getting inside. Something, you know, so small. So, you know, for those of you who do have them, you know, they're for the money, you can't really beat them. I wouldn't mind getting more of a custom colored one, but due to the fact that it is hidden, you know, it pretty much will be sitting like so in here, just right in front of the steering shaft. So it doesn't really matter on what the color actually is. But you know, other than that, the day finally comes, so we can go ahead and put the Procharger and the head unit on, and yeah. Alright guys, so we finally got the Procharger on and mounted. I actually had to go inside here on the other side of this spacer and grind out some of the aluminum that is there, because it is essentially hitting against the water pump right on the edge of it right here on the back side. It was rubbing there, and we actually had a hard time getting the entire head unit on, just because this one lonely spacer just being on the OD being slightly larger than what, well, it kind of allows for. So I had to grind some off. Once we took the material off, we fit it again, and well, now it's pretty much good to go. Got to tighten everything down. Once you get it tightened down, we're going to torque it, and then after that, we're going to keep pretty much going from there. Radiator and so on and so forth. So we're just one step closer. But let's go ahead and get the bolts tightened up and get everything all torqued. So we're almost there. Alright, so as you guys can see, well, everything pretty much came together quicker than I thought it was going to, as in finishing everything up. I got the radiator in, and got the fans in. Just hooked up the hoses to the water pump, and now we're just going to go ahead and get the piping on and follow that with the blowout valve and hook all that up. So I'm going to hook up the lines to the blowout valve. We've got the coupler with the two T-bands coming off the pipe, and of course we'll go down to the intercooler, and then the hot side of the other pipe will be going to the bottom of the intercooler, routing through the core support, which is still stock, and it'll be getting bolted up to the Procharger. So almost there. Everything's came together a lot faster than I thought. So, but that, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I went over all the wiring and everything's fine. So, yeah, once I'm done with that, then, well, I'll just pretty much keep going. So, just go ahead and get this, get this piping done and get it on and get everything looking good. Alright guys, well, for the most part, the Camaro is pretty much wrapped up. There's still a few things I have to get done, mainly the radiators, hoses rather, and gotta get the spark plugs in it, get those gapped, the spark plug wires, just honestly just a few small things here and there need to be done. I tried to put some power to the car earlier, and we're having a slight issue with a wire somewhere. I already traced everything looks good, but I'm sure with the car has been sitting for a little bit, who knows, probably a mouse or something got into something like that. Hopefully not, because I'm sure everyone who knows who's ever had a mouse in their vehicle before, sometimes they can wreak havoc. But for the most part, within about 2 weeks or so, the car is pretty much done. So, for any unanswered questions, if I haven't already said it, the engine itself is a Generation 2 L21. It's a 388 stroker. It's been completely totally built for boost. It's been built around the Procharger. The Procharger is a belt-driven F1R. It's air-to-air intercooled. The transmission is a 4L60E. I would just like to give a sincere thank you to everyone who has helped out with the car. Thorough Ride Unlimited and Paul Bricker, I'd like to thank you for, well, you're the main one who built the engine. I just kind of supervised, handed you tools, but you still taught me, how to properly build an engine. And also, Paul does all my dyno tuning as well. So I would say probably it's already, I think third week into December, 2022. Our plan is to have the car up on the dyno. I think we're shooting for right around April, give or take, of next year. That way, it gets all the cruddy weather goes away and we can get the car out. But, yeah, Paul's done an extreme amount of work on this and helping me out with this thing. It was a huge undertaking, but I'm glad for the most part, it's done. It's wrapped up. Like I said, there's still a few more things that have to be done. So please, guys, stay tuned. As far as the transmission goes, I like to give Al Varner Jr. a big thank you for building the ever-living heck out of that transmission. I'm sure it's going to take it with no problem, but from what the car made before and what our goal was prior to this to what the goal is now, I firmly believe that the transmission that Al and his team up at AJ's Transmissions built will handle everything I'm going to throw at it. It's going to take all the boost. I'd also like to give Bubba Rafferty a big shout out and a big thank you for providing us with a gorgeous billet converter. It is a lockup, and it is, of course, for the 4L60E. It's when we went up to go pick the converter up, we took a look at some of his operation, and he's got a lot of good things going up there, definitely in the aftermarket performance arena. So a lot of the small tire and big tire guys in street cars, hot rods, all those, a lot of those guys go to 501 perfect converter. So I'd like to give a big thank you to Bubba. And last but not least, I'd like to give Rocket Track Glue guys, Brian and Seth, a huge shout out as well for always providing us with the awesome sticky icky that we use not only on the street but the track as well. And even though I had used their product a couple years ago for the Camaro on a street hit, allegedly. It worked phenomenally. We also, for those of you who don't know, I also have the Mustang as well, and we pulled off a pretty good ET off the draggy on the street, and we saw a definite improvement off not just the converter. Bubba and Al also did the converter and transmission in the Mustang as well, but we also used rocket prep for the Mustang as well, and that was at Pacemakers. And if you guys go back to the video, and even for the intro, those slicks that I had on at the time, we actually used slicks and we used radials, and both of them, they hooked. It was actually extremely impressive to see how well that prep actually does work. I wasn't surprised. We used it previously, back before we started doing the pour your own pedal, the no prep stuff. Brian and Seth from Rocket Prep, they all the tracks here in Ohio, they would use their prep, and when it was just phenomenal. At that time, I didn't even know that Seth and Brian were the ones who actually did RTG. I had no idea. There was a small tire event they had out there, and came in contact with Brian, and we just kind of started talking. And I didn't realize that the reason why the Camaro at that time had an outrageous 60-foot was because of the track compound that they were using. And just so happens I talked to Rod Zolman, the previous owner of Pacemakers, and he informed me that, well, actually informed us that they were using the rocket track. And I was like, oh, okay. So since then, honestly, I never looked back. And as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't go with anyone else, because the Camaro has proved itself time and time and time again at the track with its incredible 60-foots and how well the car hooks. If you're using that compound at the track and your car is doing really, really good, why not? If they offer in a bottle formula, why not use it? I mean, you're getting the same stuff, so it's really good stuff. And I also like to give a big thank you and a big shout out to Bob McVay over at McVay Motorsports. He did all the machine work for the engine, and he worked with us. It was actually kind of nice because Bob and Paul from Thrill Ride Unlimited are both friends, and they, for the most part, all three of us actually stayed in contact throughout the time that Bob had the engine, and just to make sure that all three of us were on board. So I appreciate Bob and Paul for, working on the engine when I wasn't anywhere to be found. They knew exactly what I wanted. And, before Bob moved forward with something, he shot me a Facebook message, and, he really wouldn't do much without my approval. So I also like to give a big shout out and a big thank you to Lloyd Elliott. He had actually, the last engine, same engine, but the last time that it was in here before everything went south, the engine was severely choked out from the heads and the cam, as well as the intake manifold. I had contacted Lloyd Elliott, and I told him exactly what I wanted, and that guy knocked it out of the park. He really opened up those heads, and even Paul was quite impressed with how well he had opened them up. I didn't think heads could be up for a small block. I didn't think they could be opened up this much, but no, he opened them up, and they were nice. He did a really nice job on those heads, not just the cam. And I'm actually looking forward to hearing how this cam sounds, because with it being a custom blower cam designed for the Procharger, that's really going to help these heads flow and help them breathe. So I think that covers everyone who has helped. Oh, I'd also like to give a big thank you to Custom Cutters, who did our valve covers and who was able to TIG weld everything for me, because my welder couldn't. It can't TIG aluminum. So go figure. The one time I actually wanted to go and start learning how to do TIG, I couldn't TIG weld aluminum. It can TIG weld metal just fine. But and of course Procharger. I'm not going to run anything else besides a Procharger. Just the how loud the F1R is, and the amount of power it makes, the amount of power it made on just 12.9 pounds of boost this last go around. I'm excited to see what's going to do this time around. So, Procharger, you make a heck of a product. You really do. So, besides that, that's pretty much it. So, don't forget, if you guys haven't already done so, please, there's still more to come. I'm not done yet. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, smash the like button, and if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. If you guys look at my previous videos, I get back to everyone. I'm not that person who you comment, or you're going to comment and I don't get back with you. Any questions you guys have, I don't care how small, how big, or how dumb it may be, I'm going to answer it. So, alright, well, until next time, later! Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it very much. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and share if you could, please. Thank you.